Yeah, no, that's the most important thing, obviously, but...
Hey, what's up, guys? So, as a lot of you know, I've been absent from making YouTube videos because part of my house caught on fire, and my internet was gone, and a lot of other stuff. And this video is going to tell that story, but first I have to give you some background. My mom is a cancer survivor and has chronic back pain, so she smokes weed for medicinal purposes. It helps with her pain and her stress. Now, I don't smoke weed, but I don't have a problem with people smoking it as long as it doesn't consume their life. But my younger brother, who is 20, smokes weed, and again, I don't have a problem with that, but found out he started smoking with my 15-year-old brother, who is failing high school and might go to a continuation school. He has like 4 Fs and is just doing really shitty in school, and I'm sure smoking weed isn't helping that. So that kind of really pissed me off when I found that out, and I was trying to make them stop. I personally think that 15 years old is a little too young to start smoking weed, especially if you're failing. He seriously has like 4 Fs. Anyways, they don't listen to me at all because I'm their brother, and they're not going to listen to what their brother's saying. So I try to tell my mom about it, and she doesn't give a shit either. She is a extremely passive person and doesn't really punish my brothers for doing anything. She doesn't punish me for doing anything bad either. Yeah, so a couple weeks go by now, and my 20-year-old brother is really into smoking now. He got really into it. He starts smoking at least a couple times a day. There was a period for about 2 or 3 weeks where I swear I didn't see him not high once. In California, it is legal to smoke weed as long as you have a license. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know that. And to get your license, you have to say you have some medical reason to smoke, which is kind of bullshit. A lot of people just say that they have headaches or that they can't sleep at night. But also, the license also allows you to grow weed for yourself. So my brother not only uses it to smoke and buy weed, but he also decides that he wants to start growing weed and selling it to dispensaries. Dispensaries are where you buy the legal medical marijuana. But where could he possibly grow weed? Well, he goes to my mom, who again smokes weed. He asks her what he should do, and she fucking allows him to grow weed in our house. Now, this pisses me off, mostly because my 20-year-old brother doesn't even live at my mom's house. It also really pissed me off because my brother and all his retarded-ass stoner friends would come over to the house and use it as a place to smoke weed. This happened almost every single day for about 2 weeks, and I don't care if somebody smokes around me or anything. I don't care if they would just do it every once in a while, but it is every fucking day they would come over with 5 friends or so and smoke weed. My house was turning into a stoner mecca. Well, my mom's house anyways, but I live there. So I knew that him growing was just going to be bad news. My brother isn't exactly the brightest person in the world. He's 20 years old and he thinks W is a vowel, despite how many times I tell him it isn't. He thinks that the vowel in the word awkward is W. Anyways, we have a room in our house that is completely unattached from the rest of our house. It's almost like a glorified shed, but we like to call it the back office because that's where we do all our homework. That's where when my dad was living at the house, that's where he would do his work. And it's also our attic. There's a second story and little back office area, and that's where we like to keep all of our old electronics and other stuff like that. But my brother sees this room as the perfect place to grow his plants. Apparently, the plants need to be kept at a certain temperature, and in order to do this, he needed a shitload of gadgets which take up a lot of power and a lot of power outlets. So every power outlet in that back office was used to keep his plants safe and at a nice temperature and stuff. So when he converted it into a grow room, there was just tons of wires and shit all over that room. Every power outlet is taken up to ensure that the plants are being properly taken care of. Anyways, a couple weeks go by, and I'm at the house all by myself for the first time in what seemed like an eternity. Again, the house is used as kind of a stoner mecca. There's people over there smoking all the time. It was really obnoxious. I decided that I wanted to watch a movie just because, I was all by myself. I had nothing else to do. About 30 minutes into the movie, I hear an extremely loud and intense knock at my door. I honestly thought it was the police or something, because it was just a really intense knock. So I run to my door and open it to find my neighbor screaming, "Your house is on fire." So, I mean, I was like, what do you mean my house is on fire? He just said, "Your house is on fire," and he pointed. And so I run to my backyard where my brother's growing operation is, and sure enough, our back office is completely on fire. The flames were going about 10 feet above the roof, and keep in mind this is a 2-story building. So, yeah, I'm freaked out at this point. I have no idea what to do. So the first thing I do, is I try to open the door like a fucking idiot. It didn't even register in my mind that maybe that since there's a fire in that room, that maybe the metal doorknob might be burning hot, or maybe that when I open the door there might be some backdraft and the fire might just explode in my face. But luckily for me, the only thing that happened was a bunch of smoke just hit my face, and it kind of blinded me for an hour or so, because yeah, there's a lot of smoke. And I guess what I was thinking was maybe I could go in there and maybe save some stuff. I don't know. That was not a very smart thing to do. But luckily, right after I did this, I see about 5 people in my backyard, and they all want to help. They're awesome. I mean, I wish I could thank them all, but I just couldn't find them after the fire happened. But they want me to grab a hose for them. They were really helping out with the fire, so that was really awesome. While they were doing this, I called my mom. I didn't call 911 because I was informed that somebody else had already done that for me, which was a relief, obviously. So I'm calling my mom to let her know that the house was on fire. You know, pretty normal conversation, pretty much everyday stuff. She doesn't believe me because this happened on April 1st. This happened on April Fool's Day. So we're on the phone for like 5 minutes. I'm trying to convince her that the house is on fire. Eventually she believes me and she just started freaking out. I guess she was at a grocery store and she made a huge scene, which is, now it's pretty funny to think about. Anyways, after the phone call, I go and help people put out the fire. Excuse me. I take the hose out of somebody's hands and just to relieve them because my hose is kind of leaky and I could see the water getting all over their shirts. So I help put out the fire, which is, I guess, something I could cross off my bucket list now. And I continue to do this until the firemen arrive. Eventually they come over and take care of the fire, and I just sat back and watched as my house just got completely raped by the fire. Anyways, nobody got hurt, not even my dogs. My dogs were freaking out and they actually ran away from the house, and I was kind of worried that they might get hit by a car or something, but that didn't happen. Thank God. So only one room of the house got completely destroyed. We lost a bunch of electronics. My internet was out for a while. But my brother's plants somehow managed to survive. Keep in mind, it was obviously all the power that my brother was using for the plants that caused the fire. They were able to confirm that there was some surgical, like, electrical explosion that sparked the fire. So, yeah, it's kind of ironic that that happened. Overall, like I said, it was a best case scenario as far as a fire is concerned. Nobody got hurt, and it didn't spread to the rest of the house, which is good. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty long, this is about half of the story. There's a lot of stuff that happened after the fire, like the police finding my brother's plants. But I'm just going to cut this off right now. This is going to be part 1 of this story because it's already almost a 9-minute video. But yeah, I just wanted to do this so that you guys would kind of know what I've been doing, what I've been going through these last 2 months. It's been pretty crazy, probably the craziest 2 months of my entire life. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll be back posting more videos shortly. Peace.